necessary basis.
All right. Yo, it's your boy Lou, keep it a buck. You listening to another episode of M.A.D E. We got your two coolest co-hosts in the building, the boy Cool Dave.
Yo.
And the boy Scar.
Yeah.
And this is episode 11, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 11. How y'all feel about that? We finally hit that ground zero point.
Oh, man.
10 episodes enough. I still didn't get y'all nothing.
I love it.
I ain't getting y'all shit.
Why, Lou? Why the fuck you ain't getting me shit,
My
man?
presence is enough.
Your presence is a present?
My present is a present.
That's crazy.
Putting a bow. I'm coming here in a bow. Dressed as a bow next episode.
Bitch,
You know what? The fact that the Carolina Panthers got a shot at a wild card spot
is a present.
is a present. I'm not gonna lie. So it's like, yeah, you know what? I'll give you that.
Yeah, niggas can say what they want, but if we make it with a losing record and we slide up in the, can you imagine us winning the
That
bowl?
has happened. That has happened before. I refuse to name the name.
Can you imagine us winning the bowl?
The team of the name. Yeah.
Can you imagine
the what?
Us winning the bowl?
The chili bowl, motherfucker.
I'm just saying.
On a losing record, I mean, there's a no. I'm sorry, not a losing record. I think there was.
Has that ever happened?
The New York Giants went 9-7 and went to the
Patriots.
And they went to the wild card and went from the wild card all the way. And I hate to admit this stupid ass story, but it's a fact. So we got to keep it a fact. And Luke keeps it a buck. Wants it none less. So. Yeah, it's 2007, I want to say, and it was not. I think the New York Giants were 9-7 with Eli Manning, and and they went down and beat the undefeated Patriots, and that was that year. And I'm glad that they beat the undefeated Patriots in a sick, weird way because they beat the Patriots at that time, beating us in the Super Bowl. So I'm like, you know what?
By a field goal.
Yes, by a field goal, and it was called the Spygate.
That's funny. We lost to New England by a field goal too in the bowl.
They beat a lot
in the bowl, right? And but you're part of the Spygate.
Yeah, that's
you were part of the Spygate, like we were.
I became a fan.
Yeah. Well,
Tito,
for real?
Tito made me pick a team.
Oh, for real? That's dope.
I had to go to school the next day.
That's dope.
And I was like, y'all want to watch the game with the guys? Tito and Danny was watching downstairs.
Okay.
Tito was like, Mom, just let him stay up. He's a Panther fan. And at that point, Tito or Danny, none of them were New England. Danny was a Cowboys fan back then.
Well, he's bandwagon.
So I was like, yo. I was like, Tito said pick a team. Me being a kid and Tito being big brother, he's like, pick a team. And I was like, I want the Panthers.
What's up?
And I've been a Panther fan ever since.
Yo, loyalty. That's what's up, man. That's crazy. That's what's up, yo.
Danny was a Cowboys fan, though. He wasn't. Danny's team was not in the Super Bowl that year. I mean, that shit came about.
He picked a dynasty, basically.
Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that was about. He was Cowboys everything until.
Oh, that's shit.
I think, I don't even know. I don't know what happened.
What happened, right?
I had no idea. I feel like he fell in love with Randy Moss, I think, when he went to New England.
Randy Moss was that beast over there.
I think that's what
that was that magical season.
I think he was a Moss fan. I think that's what it was.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Randy Moss was a stud, man. He was
Danny with what them jackets called? Like the starter jacket. He had the cowboy starter jacket.
Okay.
Shit was fire.
The cowboy fitted on. Baggy as hell. Shit was mad
6X.
big. Big Tito used to wear 5X.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Shit,
we all
we
was all part of that.
That big though. I think 3X was mine.
Bro, I would wear two sizes mine.
Long as hell.
3X.
Yeah, I would wear two sizes mine.
I wore 3X tall tees though.
Bro,
that's why they were long.
You was wearing a 3X and a $120. That's big as fuck.
Yeah, it was a $120, man.
It made it look bad because I was wearing a tall tee from Foot Locker. When Foot Lockers had the tall tees, where the joints were longer.
Yeah.
Fucking t-shirt used to look like a robe.
Well, Tito will rock it like that too, though. Tito had the whole. I remember he had the tall tee, and he would have a layered tee where it would be black, but at the end would be red.
Yeah,
some shit like that. I don't know how he did it because I'm thinking he double layered. Yeah, he double layering that shit.
Started selling them bitches at Jean Joint. Tito was in there back then. Back then motherfuckers shopped anywhere back then.
No, the Jean Joint. Yeah.
Not me.
Bullshit.
I've been there. I ain't gonna. I've been in there once. I've been in there once in my lifetime.
I ain't never.
What's the new hub? That's the only spot I've been to in New York.
I tell you what, if you ain't been to Jean Joint, you ain't going on that because there's pedophiles all over Jean Joint.
I've seen, man.
Shout out to LC Predator Catcher, man.
I'm glad, man. Do your thing, man. Catch him.
Keep doing your thing. And I personally knew that person, and he's a big figure in the community, and it surprised me, man. It knocked me off my feet.
I seen, it looked like it surprised a lot of people, but it's a dirty game out here, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, everybody knew his preference in relationships. Everybody knew
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
I ain't know he was like.
Well, just to let the audience know, and I'm pretty sure we're all on board with this. Hey, man, never judge a book by its cover. Be on point. Make sure you take care of your kids. If you gotta commit to babysit, do a thorough evaluation. Do your thing.
That's just not okay, bro. And I want to say, people confronted me about thinking about bringing it up on the podcast, which it wasn't even. It just happened to get brought up because we talked about Jeansway. But I don't go for who you are. Like, he was like a close member of where I grew up. In the projects, he was like real big in the projects, so everybody knows him. But
what was he? What did he do in the community as far as what you seen?
Not that much. He was just that kind of that person. Everybody knows that one guy.
No, but the crazy shit about that too is sometimes it's who you least expect. You know what I mean? Yeah. And motherfuckers don't be sorry, nigga. You just sorry you got caught.
Grab that.
You know what I mean? So it's a different way.
I'm sorry.
That people interpret that. You know what I'm saying? But motherfuckers really don't be sorry. They just sorry they got caught. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't gonna touch base on it too much. But shout out to LC Predator Catcher.
Yes,
keep doing your thing.
Definitely.
I seen there was a couple motherfuckers that got caught in York. So there was one got away. I know one ran out the back door.
Well, I hope we catch him, man. I hope we catch him. And
here's the thing: he calls the cops for some of them, but for some of them he don't. Man, it's kind of like he just wants you to take accountability for it, and then he kind of.
Well, at that point you're being exposed.
Yeah.
So and I feel like that's cool too.
It's important.
I feel like that's cool too.
That sometimes that's all it takes is for you to be exposed. Yes. For people to go, let me not do that again.
To have an understanding. Yeah, of course, man. I'm with it. I'm glad that he's doing that. It's some real Batman shit. And I feel like it's got to shed some light into that, man. Let's everyone show support to this vigilante. He's helping us all out in all states. Shout out to him. Shout out to him.
That's one less kid that has to deal with some.
I don't got to worry about that bullshit, man.
Tragic event or whatever, man.
Big shout out to LC the Predator Catcher. Other things going on in York City, big things, man. The Dante Mullinix case is underway. It's day 13. So a lot has gone on ever since the trial started. I think they had the mother testifying the last 2 days. So a lot of people have a lot to say about what she said on the stand and how her emotions, the way she shows her emotions towards the whole thing. Sad shit makes me fucking, choke up a little bit because it's just hard to talk about. But for those of y'all that don't know much about it, I'll give you a little bit. Leah Mullinix, his mom, left her son Dante September 6, 2018 with a man she'd met only 3 weeks before. The man brought Dante to a hospital that day where the boy was diagnosed with critical injuries, broken ribs, a battered penile area, and scrotum, bite marks on his arms. Yo, this shit's rough. Bite marks on his arms, and a lacerated liver and pancreas, and he ended up dying later that week.
Very tragic.
Tyree Bowie, the man who was babysitting Dante at the time, they charged him with criminal homicide in the toddler's death. Dante's aunt Sarah, which I've been in contact with the last couple of days, me and her been going back and forth. She is absolutely adamant that he did not do it. And she's out there supporting him and just trying to get justice. And like I said, it's rough even talking about it, but she's trying to get justice for Dante, and she wants them to actually catch the person that is doing it. There's a lot of people that don't think Tyree did it. I don't know if y'all know much about the case. But,
from what I've seen, looks like there's a lot of missing pieces that people were trying to put together, and apparently it also looks like the people that did look into it or did some type of investigation, right now it's coming to be that some of those things were false.
Wow.
I know there was a misconception as far as the autopsy. I believe the original report stated one thing, and then there was someone else, I forget what department they was part of, but they disagreed with the autopsy report, and they claimed that what Tyree said happened was actually what happened. So I don't know how far that goes as far as who's being professional, if shit is biased, if not. But overall the situation is tragic, it's sad, and especially if it's somebody that's sitting in jail for something they didn't do. I definitely think it's something worth looking into. But hopefully they get to the bottom of it soon. But it's a sad situation. One thing that can't change out of all this is, unfortunately that kid can't come back. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a sad situation for a 2-year-old to have gone through that type of pain and abuse, and at that point you can't even speak on it. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
And children and youth is being they are blaming children and youth in a way. They had a nurse on the stand today, and I wasn't there and we weren't there, but we do have people that are following the case and are sitting in trial and watching it and kind of taking notes for us. But there was a nurse that testified today and said that they actually asked her why she stayed late for her shift that day, and she told him, she said, I just didn't feel like the mother was capable of taking care of that child. Now she was basically there just hoping that children and youth stepped in and said basically
did something about it.
We're not giving the custody of this little boy back to his mom. So she ended up leaving like around 10 o'clock, and children and youth didn't do what they should have done. She came back the next day to find out that children and youth released the custody of the little boy back to the mom.
Wow.
And we all know.
And that would get presented in the case?
It was. She actually
testimony that
she was on
statement.
She was on trial today, and the medical examiner testified as well.
Okay.
He also said that he don't think that the little boy was suffocated, how they're making it seem.
Okay.
He thinks the little boy died from
beaten to death.
Well, the little boy had injuries, but they think the little boy died from choking on an animal cracker.
So it wasn't okay. So it was based on.
So
he did choke on something.
He did choke on something, and I think they're focusing the case now. They're really like they got eyes on the injuries of the little boy, like the broken ribs.
Wow.
He was diagnosed with some stage of herpes.
Right, like there's a pattern there. Like all this didn't happen overnight.
Right. So
yes.
So we know it is a fact that the little boy died in the care of Tyree. But the way that he died is still questionable. Tyree and a lot.
So basically, Tyree's been charged with the murder of the kid.
Right, and there is a lot of people adamant that he did not do it. They think the little boy accidentally choked on an animal cracker. Yeah. The police aren't doing their job. They failed to take the evidence that they needed from the scene.
Well, I thought it was, and sorry to interact. Earlier, I thought it was a cookie.
A cookie. It might have been a cookie.
That was baked.
A cookie.
And then he gave it to him, and then after that, it said that, hey, he choked on a cookie. I didn't know it was an animal cracker.
According to Tyree, he did try to save his life. He stuck his fingers down his throat and tried to pull the cookie out of his throat.
Wow.
But unfortunately, he didn't make it. And I think now that after everything went by and they actually examined him, they realized, the little boy had broken ribs. He had bruises from head to toe. Like I said, he had herpes. And they tested Tyree for herpes, and he tested negative. So they're failing to test a person that everybody else thinks is a big interest in the case. And we can't obviously name him because they haven't really put his name out there yet. But they have yet to try to question him or even test him or bring him in any way. Detectives are real adamant that Tyree did do it. Yeah. Even though all evidence and everything else points otherwise.
Damn.
It seems like unfortunately, seems like there's a lot of negligence here at play.
A large amount of negligence.
And I don't know,
foul play, definitely foul play.
Right.
Definitely foul play.
If the facts are there, if the evidence and information is available to you, should be using it. The point of the whole case should be justice for the child versus trying to target a person based off what you think is known to be true, when if there are facts in front of you, should be investigating that to the fullest.
And talking to Sarah, Sarah is Dante's aunt. She explained that a lot of people they talk about it, but they really don't talk about it because it's an uncomfortable thing to talk about. And trust me, if people know my story, they know I'm very uncomfortable with speaking on any child, especially with him being 2 and everything. It brings back things that I shouldn't be putting in my head, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be it needs to be shared. People need to know the story. People need to be aware of a justice system that's failing, if it is failing, and people need to be aware of a children and youth situation. If children and youth is there to protect these kids, and if they're not getting involved how they should, then there's something that needs to be corrected.
And also, not to interject, hopefully, my fault, but I would like for children and youth to, if you see fuckery, act on it. Don't go with your gut feeling. If you see it, do it. Don't hold it for next week. You know what I'm saying? This could happen. I don't mean to put that type of conscience on you guys because you guys are there every day. I can only imagine how the type of physical toll, mental health it would put on you every day. You seeing every day. So please don't take that as disrespect. Just take it from a human being that really wants to see things get done right. Just, if it takes a little bit extra steps, do it.
Yeah, and here's please. Here's the thing. The thing is that obviously I won't speak on cases, but excuse me, I know a lot of cases that I've already heard and seen that, their children and youth is getting involved over comments made and kids get into fights with their siblings at home and they go to school and they bring it up in school and children and youth is automatically wants to get involved and figure out what happened. But here you are, a child that was constantly at the hospital. They got pictures of his bruises. They got pictures of ulcers and his private parts. They got pictures of big bruises on his head. They got makeup covering the bruises and all this is stuff that is being told to y'all and there's proof that's being shown to y'all, and you guys are getting involved, but you're not at the same time. You're kind of just getting involved, taking notes, and then sending them on about the business. Priorities need to come in effect. Like you have to. That's obviously a case where the child should have been removed from the home until things were settled and understanding was met. But like I said, I see them getting involved in cases like simple shit. Kids did a little bit too much cussing at school that day. Somebody must be failing at home. And then they stay involved. But when it comes to something like this, you guys ain't. Why wasn't that child taken away from Leah? Is what bothers me. So
with that being said, and this is not the first time I've heard things about children and youth, and I don't know what they use to determine, whether a kid should stay, whether a kid's actually in danger or not. Do you think that they are given potentially children that are in danger, they are giving them too many chances? Like, are they given too much leeway? Should they be stricter? Like, what do you think, as an opinion, should change, or what action should they be taking?
See, I think it's coming. It's getting to the point now, from what it looks like from the outside in. It's a caseworker to caseworker type of deal. I think some caseworkers care more than other caseworkers. I don't know how they're training. I don't know what the steps are to become a caseworker, but I think some caseworkers just care more than others. So just so happens that the cases where the cases are which no children and youth case should be minor. It should all be taken seriously. But the cases where the too much cussing going on and maybe a threat or two, those caseworkers are the ones that would need to be put on cases like Dante's case. So I think it's on a caseworker to caseworker type thing.
Gotcha.
I think it all depends on who the caseworker is and if they actually care enough to do their job.
Pretty much what I was coming down to. Like, I hope these guys, again, I'm not trying to act like we know what goes on in their everyday lives, because we don't. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of physical tools and elements that come down to it. As a matter of fact, I actually know a good female friend of mine that's from Jersey who actually handles cases like that in Jersey. And the stories that she tells me is mind-boggling. Like, to the point where I actually look at her and say, yo, how do you come home at night and be able to have a conversation with us and have a good time and act normal? Because that would drive me to the point where I can't sleep. where I gotta like, where I you know, I'm thinking like, how do I become Batman? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
how do I do that? Because I got nephews and nieces that I really look at like they're my own child. I got friends, kids that I look at like they're my own child. You know what I mean? Like, it bothers me the fact that we see this type of effery, and I hope it gets resolved fast, swiftly, and to let the good people know that's in this field, that's fighting the good fight. We're with you. We support you 100%. And the bad people, well, I hope the good people that love their field so much that can detect bad people that's in their field and let them know, yo, man, this ain't for you. Get out of here. Get them out of there, because we need more people like you. You know what I mean? We need more this type of love where people that care about their job, love their job, the way you guys do, the way you guys handle. We don't know what goes on in your everyday life.
Right.
We can only imagine. But we support you.
Shout out to the ones that's
we support
what
you.
they got to do, going above and beyond for
real.
A big difference between us and excuse me, like I said, if I'm pausing a little bit, this shit just really, that shit gets under my skin like that. It's just, it hits home. But a lot, I listened to a lot of other podcasts and I followed the story for a little bit, and they really focused on the bad things and the whole case and all that, but nobody really gets the time to actually talk about Dante and the fact that he, little angel, man, in the little short period of time that he had here on Earth, man, he was a little angel, man. He they also thought he was autistic, so it was kind of hard for him to express words, so he couldn't really tell you, oh, I mean, somebody's beating on me, or I mean, somebody hit me today. But he loved dancing, he loved music. The little angel was an organ donor, so he was able to help people and bless people even after
save lives.
Still save lives even after he left us here on Earth. His mom did end up having, I want to say 3 more kids, I think it was, after the fact. 2 of them were adopted out immediately, and then the younger one is with Sarah, her sister, which has been a big participant in this whole case. She is determined to get justice for her nephew. She's fighting more than anybody else is. I mean, she's really doing her thing. She's traveling 4 hours to and from where she actually lives. She's been down here for the whole trial, but she got to travel back and forth on the weekend and go home for, it's 4 hours.
Fighting the good fight. She's fighting the good fight. Shout out to her.
So if you guys have it in you, she does run the Justice for Dante page on Facebook. She does have a way to donate to the cause on there. Just give what you can and try to support her as much as you can. Like I said, it ain't cheap to have to come here, drive 4 hours here, find somewhere to stay, and then drive home. The trial's been going on 2.5 weeks now. They still think it'll take another week and a half or so. So she's still gonna have to continue to do it. But she has hopes in opening a foundation named after Dante after all this is kind of done and over with. So go on her page and look for that information and donate what you can.
Yeah, that's what's up. And hopefully the foundation, gets put to good use and prevents, tragic events like this from happening, or prevent as much as possible, at least.
It's sad to say that this has to be an example, but I hope this sharpens the mind of everyone that's in this field to be like, you know what? Let's be on point. Let's sharpen up. Let's roll up the sleeves. So hopefully this gets done right, and we can move forward with better, good stories.
Yeah, bro. And like I said, if Tyree is innocent, man, I hope the best for him. I hope everything works out in his favor. Obviously, there's a lot of people that say he's innocent, but we're really not going to get into the fact of things that we don't know. But if he is innocent and people are supporting him the way they are, hopefully everything works out in his favor. But I do pray that little boy gets justice.
Absolutely.
And we do find the people responsible for. I think there's an idea of who should be blamed here, but like I said, we won't mention no names. I just I know myself, like losing mine, man. It wasn't. I can't imagine somebody that would put in their mind that can actually get up and think to hurt a child like that, man, and take a little boy. Oh,
Understand.
Definitely.
It's
It's a heavy topic, man. It's a heavy topic, and obviously personally, I know it hits home for you. But it's a heavy topic, and unfortunately, we live in a world where there's some very sick people who do
sick things.
sick things.
man, like after losing mine, man, I barely could live with myself as it is, and just having the thought of somebody actually doing damage to a child like that, and that child losing their life, it just blows my mind, man. Goes over my fucking head.
Sad but true. Understand. I don't understand. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, it's
my condolences.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's again, it's a very heavy topic. From what I've seen and looked at, there's a lot of people that feel the same as we are kind of feeling right now. There are some people who don't. But again, at the end of the day, there's an innocent child, who didn't ask to be brought into this world, and he was,
Yes.
and he wasn't treated right while he was here, which is unfortunate. So I hope he gets the justice that he deserves. No child, nobody in general, deserves to go through that type of pain. To lose a child, whether it be foul play, whether it be whatever the case might be, just that could be very heavy. Everybody's related to somebody, so now somebody lost either a little brother, a kid.
Yeah.
It's a very, very heavy situation, but prayers for everybody that's involved, and I hope justice is served, and the little boy gets what he deserves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he did, like I said, he deserves, and us saying his name, and us praising him for the little angel that he was. And at the end of all this, even when justice is served, it's still not going to be enough. So we need to continue to say that little boy's name and
Keep his name
continue to
alive.
keep his name alive, and
Yes, definitely.
and fix the broken system. 'Cause it stopping this, obviously it's not going to stop right away, but we got to start somewhere.
And I just want to interject real quick. I don't want to get too off topic, but this is like more of a friend thing. I don't want to say a bro thing, but a friend thing. If you see your friend that went through something very severe, bad, traumatizing in their life, man, don't hold back. Be there for their friend, man. Comfort that man. Let him know, hey, we're here with you. We support whatever you want to do. We got your back. Make sure that person's all right, because he lost a lot. I don't want to sound cliche or sound like a broken record, but that to me, that's real friends getting through the real tough tasks.
Support system is everything.
Support system is everything, man. Pac said it best, because in the hood, true homies make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? And that's real shit. You look back at it, that's real shit. He's not lying. Make sure your man's good.
Yeah, man. And
you know what I'm saying?
It's 2022, man. If you see something, say something.
Yes.
I can't imagine me having an idea of a child being abused in a home, and just because I know who they are or know the parents or something, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut, man. That's where it starts, man. If you see something, say something.
Definitely.
There's no way in hell that little boy was getting abused for that long.
Yeah.
And nobody saw nothing, said nothing.
Yeah, or do nothing. So
or did nothing.
Yes.
And that's what gets under my skin the most, is that y'all see this shit, man. Y'all see it, and y'all just refuse to say something just because you think that person's your friend, and you think you're gonna mind your business and not get involved. At the end of the day, this is the outcome to that.
Yeah.
It gets bad to the point where now that little boy lived his whole life, he was living abused. He was abused his whole life. Little boy didn't even get a chance to enjoy his life. Most of his lifetime, he was living through hell. All because nobody said nothing. And nobody can tell me anything different. Nobody can sit there and tell me that nobody knew that shit was going on.
Yeah, and even if it's a speculation, right? And part of doing your part in that scenario at the least you can do is, at least make that phone call, bring awareness
You're
to
right,
the
yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Because, we don't know what happens behind people's closed doors. But, at least the awareness can start having the right people keep eyes on things. Unfortunately, it's not always going to work. But at least as a person, I did something. Like, you can't always
Right,
go above and beyond. And, there's certain limits that you can take shit to.
No, but
But at least bring the awareness.
yes,
to
bring
the
the yes,
situation.
exactly. I
Shed
agree
the
with
light.
you. Yeah, shed the light. Make sure your friends know what's up. Make sure they all right. Make sure whatever they going through, or whatever, what I'm saying, whatever, hey man, spread the love.
As far as our justice system, man, that's really where it starts, man. We need to really correct what's going on in our justice system, especially if they had that man sitting in jail, thing going on 3 years now, if not more, whatever he's been sitting in jail for
3-4
years.
3-4 years, is it?
For
Has it been that
something.
long? I don't want to comment on it because I don't know.
3 or 4 years for something that he didn't do.
Wow.
So now, fuck that. And I mean, I hear you. That man should be free and all. But worse than that, you got the people that actually did do this shit, walking around living their life and doing their thing. They just out here walking, ranting, like getting away with something that, for real, they should have been executed for. I mean, if you got the balls to harm a 2-year-old child like that and do the damage that you did to that little boy, you should be executed. You should be charged. You should be sentenced, and you should be executed and done damage as much as you did to that little boy. As a 2-year-old soul that couldn't defend himself, bro.
It's a touching topic. It's a sensitive topic. It's just do the right thing, man. We all been kids. We all been this. We all felt that kid way. Call it, man. You know what I mean? You see fuckery, call it. Call it what it is. Don't be afraid to call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing.
And we'll continue to pray for Dante, man. And again, if Tyree didn't do it, man, free that man.
Free the real.
Obviously, the people in his circle know more than what we know. But again, if he didn't do it, and that man is sitting in jail for something that he didn't do, this all plays back to our system being broken, and the city just trying to point fingers at the first easy person they could point fingers to. So something needs to be done. Free Tyree, and we need to put the people. Not only do we need to put behind bars the people that did do it, in my opinion, they should be executed. I'm not the one to play God, but when something like that touches home in a way that it does, they need to be executed in my book. So don't let me be the judge, and don't let me do the sentencing.
Yeah, at some point in the justice system, I know they're big on numbers, but regardless of how much work and things you have to do, justice should play a bigger part than the conviction. Sometimes that's all they want is a conviction to get it out the way. And
justice needs to be served.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, justice needs to be served. We can sit here and hope for justice, but at the end of the day, justice needs to come to who needs it to be justice on. You know what I mean? Like, and I hope I'm saying it right. I don't really care. Y'all get what I'm saying. At the end of the day, man, good is good, bad is bad. So whoever did fuckery in that situation needs to be dealt with swiftly, correctly, and that's it. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't get them in this life, I hope they get it in the afterlife.
And hats off to everybody that's actually out there supporting it and doing their thing, taking their time off work and actually showing up to these trials and supporting Tyree the way that he needs to be supported. A lot of y'all, there's a lot of people down there supporting him that really don't even know him. And it's that kind of love and support that's
what's up.
We need to have, especially when the system is trying to lock up people lock up innocent men and take them from their children and their families just because it's easier for them to point the finger at the first person involved, in case closed. So hopefully justice is served in the way that it needs to be served. And rest in peace to Dante, man.
R.I.P.
This that feeling like we on the block, where we chop it up and just be cutting up a lot. Nothing's off the record, nothing's taboo. This is real life talk from 3 solid dudes. From gaming, sports, music, and business, we go all in on topics that's trending. We just put a little twist on it and hip you to the game while giving you street knowledge. Scar Lou, keep it a buck. And Cool Dave, there's nobody cooler than us. We 3 guys, we stay live, no faking us. Unique takes and perspectives, that is a must. So come and join the wave. When you tap in, you're sure to be entertained. The realest podcast in the game. What can we say? We got it made. What can we say? We got it made. What can we say? We got it made.